That was quite a funny story, as I, how I met the Second Polish Corps, because Dorota told me about General Anders when I was younger, 16 years old, and then after years, when I joined the University of Pisa and historical lessons, lectures, my professor at the time, Gianluca Fulvetti, that was the person who followed me during the process of writing the thesis and the researches, etc. During the lesson, he told us about allies in Italy, and we had to write a paper about a faction during the war. So, for example, the resistance in Tuscany or in Emilia-Romagna region or in center Italy, or someone chose, for example, the Americans during the first approach in Sicily, etc. And no one was speaking about the Polish army. So I was the only one from Emilia-Romagna region, and I chose to write about them.
That's fantastic.
And from that paper, everything started, because it grew and it became the thesis, which is,
And I understand how it could have happened, because I had this experience with my sons giving me the General Anders memoirs, right? From 1947, right? And was the original. I think it was the first one, the Army Without the Country, something like that. You probably read it as well, right?
It's similar.
It starts in 1939, right? And it goes all the way through to, well, pretty much the end of the war. And it was amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. So.
And he already wrote about soldiers that were imprisoned in the Todt organization or in the Wehrmacht that left to join and that was amazing, because the Second Polish Corps didn't have a country for the supplies.
Right.
And so meeting these people that probably, I think when I was reading that, I think, okay, those people probably lost every hope, because they were inside the Wehrmacht. They could probably have been killed every day.
Oh yeah.
But once they arrived in Italy, they saw a general from their country that told them, okay, you can join us. And then you can fight for Poland, for Italy. Za naszą i waszą wolność. And they did. And that was really amazing, because probably that moment was very powerful, because you can see him and the Second Polish Corps in general not only as a military unit, but as a community in exile. It was part of the people of Poland in exile. And so it was hope, not only a military.
And the Germans, they knew that they were Poles, because I got some information about my father, and they were saying, we have him registered here. He was lost in action somehow, right? And then they got the registration about him as a POW in the American in an American army, but they were saying, okay, he is maintaining that he is a Polish, right? And so
another thing very important is that the Germans used the propaganda to make Polish soldiers desertare, to abandon their positions. Okay,
is that right?
Sorry?
They didn't like them? They didn't like them in the army?
They were trying to make Polish soldiers not to fight or to abandon their position, not to...
because the risk of desertion was high, right?
It was like... Anders called it Vanda, the machine, the propaganda machine.
Right.
The Nazi propaganda was called Vanda, and the Soviet propaganda was called Vanda the Red, because of the political colors. And he found that Vanda, the propaganda machine, was absolutely dangerous, because it was sharing like papers with like informations of what was happening in Poland. For example, if you fight us in Italy, Soviets will conquer Warsaw, and so you will be guilty of that. And so many of them probably were actually scared. But if there is a thing that I learned studying during my studies in Polish history, is that Polish people are quite strong and
we're stubborn. We're stubborn. Yeah.
So it wasn't easy.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And it was quite useful in that moment because the world was looking at Poland and looking at the Soviet armies entering Poland and dismantling the Armia Krajowa, for example.
Right.
As I knew that at Yalta, the Allies.
And he told that, and my father is quoting him in the book there as well.
It was a dangerous situation, potentially very explosive, with soldiers that could abandon their position, but they did not. So that was quite stubborn, but at the same time in a positive way. And so.
Well, thank you very much for getting into this part of the history, because this is the same thing for me. I started reading about General Anders, and I said, well, this is so many things, and there is many ways to understand history, and the Polish army on the exile might be one of the important parts to understanding the history of the Second World War, right?
And another very important thing is that I decided to study this kind of history, this part of history, because of it's very linked with my city. It's part of my, I don't want to say heritage, but my territory. If I want to study my country's history, if I want to study the recent history, I cannot ignore Polish history and what Polish people did to liberate my country, to fight for it.
Very good. Thank you very much, Sebastian.
Thank you.
And we'll be in touch.
Absolutely, yes.
Good.